I bought this cool Rockband MIDI guitar, but it's broken, so let's try to fix it. So when you open it up, it comes in 3 parts. They just fit together really easily. The neck goes in the neck hole, and then the head goes on the end. You don't actually need this bit. I don't think it's required. Also, it doesn't come with a dongle. It's just a actual 360 controller, so it just Bluetooth or whatever it uses to connect. What frets are broken on Rockband? You need to first connect the guitar. Sometimes it doesn't properly connect, and you need to take the batteries out and try again. Then you press start to join. It says down there, I think you can sign in as no profile. If you go to training, you go to learn an instrument, and then from here there should be Guitar Pro. Maybe I need to sign out of the other one. When you get to sign in, you'll get to a screen that says Note Basics. So you do begin, this thing will come down, and then if you miss this first thing, it will bring up a fretboard, and then from there you can just press any of the frets and test if they're working. So we'll be able to show that some of these frets don't work. So up here it shows the frets as they're being pressed. 1, 2, 3 doesn't work. 8 doesn't work on that string. 1 doesn't work on that string. 8 doesn't work on that one. I'm going to take this apart. You just take out these screws here, and then there's a few up here too. You don't need to take these red bits out to get the fretboard off. Yeah, you just pull this connector out. The board it's attached to is pretty flimsy, but there we go. I think I got it. As you saw there, the 8th fret is kind of not working on a lot of them. So I've marked the ones that don't work on this side and on this side. Open it up, it seems like there is 2 buttons per fret, just in case you hit either side of it, and it does kind of either or. But my first thing to check would be move one of these to one of these and see if it works. I've went and desoldered this guy, but there's some kind of breakable diodes that came off in 2 parts. It's just a diode, I think, or some kind of small fuse. I'm gonna just replace it with one of these and see if it works, just a little jumper wire. Okay, it's now soldered in place. Let's go see if it works. Top one in row 8 should work. This bottom one in row 8 should work. Oh crap, maybe I broke it. It seems when I bridge that just with another bit of wire, it does seem to actually work. See number 8 happening up there. I've just got a massive blob of solder on it between the two, so let's see if that works. So connected again with that blob of solder in place, and woohoo! It works! See that light flashing there? I'm pressing that. So I think I just need to go through the rest of the board, find the ones that are broken, and fix them. So now I'm just going to do the same to these 3 and then see if it works. I don't want to do too many like the rest of the board in case it causes some short that breaks everything. I just took one off. I'm just going to add some more solder to it and then bridge it over. And then yeah, if we get 2 working, I think we're good to go for the rest of the board. There we go. So now I've bridged all of the ones that were broken on fret 8. Test again, we just flip this round so the buttons are facing up the way, and then we put that plug back in there. This one was broken before, it is now working. That's working, that's working. Yep, all those ones seem to be working now. So now I'm just going to go through the full fretboard with a Sharpie and mark any of the ones that are broken, and then flip round to the back and solder them as well. And bridged all of the broken ones. I think there was 10 broken frets, and most of them were on fret 8, which is really weird. I wonder if that just got more wear and tear. Lots of songs around fret 8 or not. The moment of truth, we see if all of these frets do now work. So the ones that were broken, there's only 10 of them to test here. These are all working now, it looks like. It's hard to test the... yeah, this fretboard only goes up to 13, well kind of 14, but down here it tells you the fret number as well, so that's useful. And yep, I think I have now fixed them all. You're putting this back together, you make sure all your frets are in the right place, pointing down the way, and then you flip it so the diodes are pointing up. You should be able to align along all these screw holes. Luckily I did highlight where I had to put the kind of flat screws, and then you just go in and refill them all back in. All the frets do work individually, that is. One thing that I thought might be different is bar cords. Here's one that I think all of 4 was working, but all of 8 was broken basically. Some of 7 as well. And if you try to bar cord, I think those diodes were kind of what allowed you to be able to press multiple buttons in the same row. So if you're doing individual picking, it's probably fine. But if you have cords that are on those, you're probably going to not do very well. So that's a wee bit annoying. I will try to look up what those diodes are and get them all replaced. It's a new day. I ordered these diodes and I'm going to solder them on and see if they work. So any of the ones that I've bridged before, I'm going to replace with one of these. These are one directional. I'm not sure which way they are, but I'm just going to follow there's a black side on one of them, and then there's a black side on the board as well. So I will just make sure that it points the same way, and if it doesn't work, I'll just flip it around. So for this, I'm going to bend it over like this and then chop the legs off, so that I can make it go to the board. These are surface mount on here, but I couldn't find surface mount, and these seem to break as soon as you kind of solder the side of them anyway. So having a little bit of stuff that protects it from the heat is probably good. This one first, because the problem was that you couldn't bar cord, and this one there is only one broken. So I'll replace it, and if it works, I'll just go and do the rest of the board. So we're just going to heat up that solder. It should go into 2 separate blobs again. I should maybe put some new solder, maybe even some flux on here. Let's see how it goes without that. There's one leg. And yeah, I need some new solder for this one. Definitely not the best soldering job ever, but it'll be enough to test. Quickly put this back plate on, just screw in a couple of the screws, but make sure we attach the ribbon cable that's down here. The note checker, and we can see all of them still individually work, and you can now barcode them all. So this is the fix. Board open again. I'm just going to go replace the other 9 or whatever that are broken. So I've now got them all soldered. I'm not going to be winning any soldering awards, but it should be enough to see if it works. Does it actually work? All of the frets. And the moment of truth, 8th fret. Yeah, we got it all working now. It is really actually quite hard to bar these all at the same time. The buttons are a bit fiddly, but it does work. Left to do is rock out. So if you've got one of these guitars and some of the frets don't work, now you know how to fix it. Now I need to figure out how to use this as a MIDI guitar. If you've watched this far, please consider giving it a like and follow for content sometimes like this, but mainly pickups and game dev.